doctor is in, and we got a hell of a show for you this evening. We're going to be having on the show, we're going to be having some Rhode Island Championship wrestlers. We're going to have Chaz Marinelli and the Antihero, and we're also going to be having the VIXEN Jacklyn Sparks live on here in a little bit. And we're going to be breaking down everything about Rhode Island Championship Wrestling, the history, and I got a few questions here and there. We're just gonna talk, and we're gonna get everything rocking. And yeah, so once they're ready, and then we'll bring them on in, and we'll have it. But in the meantime, let me throw the banner on. So we just have info going. Yeah, there's a couple deals going on, but only tonight. For those that are watching, if you just buy a t-shirt, any t-shirt, but it has to be from now until the show ends only. I can tell by the time and all that. You will get 3 free CDs randomly with that t-shirt. Sold, no questions asked. You'll get that, but it has to be during that time. And we'll be ready to rock. Oh, I think the VIXEN is ready, I think. So before we get into this, I'm very excited about this just because of the fact that, what do you call it? I got to go to one of their events a few weeks ago, and I had the time of my life. You know, everything about wrestling that we all know is like AEW, TNA, WWE, and so on and so forth. But you got to remember, where did all those wrestlers come from? They came from the local circuit, what I call, and I love going to local wrestling, because there's a lot of cool things. So anyway, without further ado, we are going to bring in the VIXEN. Yes, the VIXEN. Jacklyn Sparks. Hey, Jacklyn, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I was telling Chaz, I said, hey, this is, I'm very excited about it. You know what I mean? Because like when I went to that first, that show that you guys had over at the Hill on Tavern over there in Chepachet.
Yep.
We had never heard of you guys, didn't even know you guys existed. My wife found it, and then she's like, we got nothing going on, and we watch wrestling almost every day of the week between all the different shows and stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm like, all right, let's check it out, because we don't usually, it's hard to find, local wrestling. It's not advertised as well as you would, to find it like anybody else. But we found it and we love it. And the show that you guys put on was amazing.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's what we set out to do. We want you to have a good time. We all want to have a good time. And the best way to have a good time is if everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. And it was like, we're watching all the different, everybody coming out. And then I see you come out and you're fighting a dude. The intergender matches, like WWE doesn't really do them. And I know AEW will do them and some other places will, but it's just like, I know it's kind of weird, like to watch a guy and a girl beat each other up. It's like, well, nobody wants to condone beating a woman, but it's still cool that, like, you held your own. You kicked that dude's butt.
So the way that we look at it here over at RICW, I was trained by a dude. Chris Dozer was my trainer, along with Chaz helped out as well. But Chris Dozer was the one person who kind of like really sat with me and was like, I'm going to train you just like I trained everybody else. You're not going to get any special treatment because you got boobs. Like, that's not how this works. Yep. So the way we look at it is, I'm a worker. You're a worker. It's not male, female in the ring. It's you're a wrestler.
Yeah.
And that's, I honestly prefer wrestling dudes to women.
I mean, it's just cool to see, because like I've seen like wrestlers that are big today, like Chelsea Green, she had fought Penta back in the day, and she's fought a lot of guys. You know what I mean? So I find it interesting to see that, because it doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't, and I really wish it would. I feel like this is gonna sound a little taboo, but I feel like women's wrestling is mountains above where it was, but it's still not where it could be.
Oh, I know. Feel like I agree.
By wrestling males compared to females, because I feel like a lot of the time it's you can take a bump, you can sell, all right, you're good to go for females.
Yeah.
Because they want that attraction to the show.
Yep.
Where with us, we don't look at it like that, like I had said. And I feel like I've improved so much by facing more males than females than
Yep.
what I could have if it was just females alone.
Now, correct me if are you the only female right now in RICW?
Yes.
Well, there you
Right
go.
now,
You got,
anyway.
well, you only got you can only fight dudes. So,
Yeah.
but
And
hey,
that
you know
was the
what? I
whole
give you
thing.
kudos because a lot of women wouldn't want to do that. I'm sure there's a
I-
lot that would, but I'm
Right.
sure you know what I mean. I'm sure there's a lot of women that would. Some might be afraid. I mean, we all know how. I mean, everybody has that thing. Wrestling's fake. It's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I give kudos to the women that do fight the dudes because it's like I said, it's a rare thing, and I just want to see it just because I want to see. Oddly enough, I want to see a woman kick a dude's ass.
Right.
You
And
know
like
what I mean?
that's the wonderful thing. And it's also like it can be kind of like not so great too because I'm a woman. So no matter what, when I step into the ring, I'm the good guy.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a guy I can be beating the ever loving crap out of somebody.
Yep.
And they hit me back and boo. I'm like, no.
Yeah, because maybe one day,
No.
maybe you're trying to be the heel at the time, depending on the
Right.
story, you know? No, that's what you need. You need to be like a crazy villain and just murk everybody out, just take them all out.
I used to be. I've changed my ways.
Oh.
I used to be way back when we first started out. It
Now,
was
how long
me,
have you been? How
Chaz.
long have you been wrestling?
So I've been in the business for about 10 years.
Oh, so this isn't a new thing.
No, I took about a 5-year hiatus after I had my son. Well, COVID really kickstarted all of that. So
Yep.
2020 happened. 2021, I got pregnant, which was really when everything started coming back. And then I just I would go to shows that Chaz was on. I'd help him out. I do ring announcing. I kind of help where I'm needed, but I was kind of taking that step back
Yep.
from getting back into the ring because I'm nervous. I've gained 50 pounds since I had my baby. Like it wasn't. I'm not the same Jacklyn Sparks that I was 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and I was really scared that like it wasn't. I was gonna come back and I was just it was gonna be a bust. I was gonna do terrible. Like nobody would be there. Like things like that. But like after that Hill show, when I had my first show back, I'm like, okay, now I can.
That
do
was your
this.
first show back.
That was my first wrestling match back. Yes. In
Wow.
5 years.
Wow, you wouldn't have known that.
Thank you.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you can tell when somebody's pretty green. Like
Oh, yeah.
Because I've only wrestled in a ring one time.
Yeah.
Back in 2001 in St. Clown Posse. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
Yep.
They have a music festival every year. It's
Yep.
coming up next month. And I went to the one that was in Toledo, and that's when they did them indoors. They're at campgrounds and stuff now.
Yeah.
But they have their own wrestling. I don't know if you're aware, they have their own wrestling federation called JCW. And matter of fact, they're doing a thing at the gathering this year with GCW. They're battling each other. They're having this tournament and everything at their gathering. But they allowed anybody. You didn't have to have any wrestling experience. You sign a waiver. You got 5 minutes in the ring with you and your friends to do whatever you want. I definitely think I got a concussion. I never went to the hospital, but I definitely got my bell rung because we did like a power bomb off the top rope that we didn't know what we were doing. We were just, all right, let's just do it. And just, and yeah, I definitely got messed up, but it was only for 5 minutes. And I will say that was the longest 5 minutes of my life.
It is absolutely insane how time slows down so much when you're in that ring.
Plus the adrenaline and just the crowd reactions when they're booing or cheering. Like, I give you guys a lot of credit. I could not do that on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. I grew up as a dancer. I did ballet, tap, jazz, contemporary from the time I was 3 years old until I graduated high school. And when I was about 14, I had met this kid, Zach. Zach Fantastic. He doesn't wrestle anymore, but he used to. And he was dating my friend Katie. So we used to go to shows all the time. My boyfriend could drive. He'd drive us. We'd get in for free. And I fell in love with that aspect of the business. And like, it was just one of those things that I was always like, hey, I think I might be able to do that. That'd be really cool to do. That'd be a cool thing to do. And then I went away. I had a really bad drug addiction. I'm 10 years sober.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. So when I got out of the trenches, I had hit up a couple of my old wrestling buddies and I'm like, hey, can you get me into a show? they were like, yeah, and I became friends with this girl, and we would just go around Providence and go to wrestling shows. We'd go to, Beyond, RWA, and then one day she was like, hey, it's a free wrestling show tonight. You want to go? And I'm like, yeah, and that's how I met Chaz.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
the rest is history, really.
Matter of fact, I think the guy, I can't remember his name, the one that I believe that you're facing in August, the guy that won the Battle Royal
Yep.
to face you.
Yep.
He was at, and I know you guys know him, NEK with Casket and everybody. I seen the video of him wrestling this weekend up there.
Oh yeah. Yep. He had a death match.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, because matter of fact, Trey Pound, one of the artists we work with, he was in the Battle Royal. They asked me, Casket was like, hey, if you want, come on up and do the Battle Royal. And I'm like, I haven't been in a wrestling ring since 2001.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to get hurt, but
no.
But like, I mean, I probably should have. I probably should have did it. Let's be honest, but I didn't. But I don't know. I let you guys. I like to be the fan, and then I like to watch you guys, and then I like to talk about it, and like what I'm doing now. And I just like you. Like what? Let me ask you this: what got you though? Like what was the like? I know you've been telling us, but like even before that, you got into that. Did you like watch WWF or anything back in the day? Is there like a moment you were like, yes, like I seen this, or is it just what you've said before? Like
it was. So growing up, I'm a 1993 baby, so I grew up during the Attitude Era, and my dad would watch wrestling every so often, but we weren't like a wrestling household. I remember way back, I'm talking probably like 2001, 2002, 2003. I grew up in Swansea, Mass, and at the high school there was a wrestling show, and I remember my mom bringing me to it, and there was these two big guys in the ring. I don't know who it was, but if I'm thinking correctly, it was probably Big Daddy Bravo, Big Daddy Kahuna, and Redemption, because it must have been the PAL wrestlers at that point.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom being so afraid that they were going to roll out of the ring because they were such big guys.
Yeah.
And like, so that's like a time that I think about and I remember, but there was never, besides for me seeing indie wrestling, like I really got into it because of indie wrestling.
Yeah.
I was around the indie wrestling, and it was one of those things that like I said, Zach was one of my best friends. I actually got to face him like 6 years later, like after I started in the business.
Oh, that must have been cool though.
That was one of my like goals. That was one of my dream matches, was to face the guy who's the reason why I even have this. And if it wasn't for wrestling, I wouldn't have my family. And but it was mostly, but like I remember watching The Undertaker when I was little. I remember watching Stone Cold Steve Austin, but like that wasn't the oh my god moment for me.
And you know what's funny? I've been a wrestling fan my whole life, and I missed 90% of the Attitude Era.
Right.
Well, because at that point, when right before the Attitude, it was all kid stuff. Like it just wasn't. So, and then I started working on music back then.
Yeah.
So then my focus was, I want to make something of myself doing this. So wrestling got just to watch it got put on the back burner.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't miss it, to be honest, just because, I go back and I watch some matches. People are like, oh, go watch this match from this time. And not the same living it, but I got to catch up on, but I only watched it again when ICP would say on their website, hey, we're going to be on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or something, because sometimes they were in ECW, sometimes they were in WCW.
Yeah.
So I was bouncing around just to watch my favorite artist wrestle.
Yeah.
But then my wife was like, hey, let's, during COVID, there's nothing to do. So we just started watching wrestling again. And now we're like hooked, like crackheads, I guess. We just consume so much.
Yeah.
Like it's unreal, but we just love it. We rather do that than go out. It's expensive to walk out the front door.
It really is. It really, really is.
But yeah, so that was your first one back. So do you train a lot still now? Like do you go?
We train every Friday. I've been not slacking, but I've been slacking a little bit. But like I said, I wasn't really sure 100% if I wanted to actually do this again.
Yeah.
I didn't know if my body would physically let me do this again. So I was kind of waiting for like that wake up moment. Like, don't get me wrong, leading up to me and Vinny Abruzzi's match, I was working my ass off, making sure like
Yeah.
getting like retraining the brain. You're putting the training wheels back on. It's brain
Yep.
rust. It's all still in here. I just got to get it back out.
Oh yeah, you just gotta. It's like riding a bike. Eventually, it comes back. That's
Exactly.
Yeah. So, do you have like any dream matches that you would like to have now? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
So one of my dream matches has always been Lufisto. And I know she currently, I don't think she's either on her way into retirement or she's already retired. I know she had a really bad injury to her knee, but she had always been one. And I would love to face, oh my God, what's her name? Evilise. Evilise was always one of my, because we used to watch her back in Lucha Underground.
oh yeah,
And
Lucha Underground. Yep.
she was in with the guys. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And like that was when I really started getting big into like intergender wrestling and everything. And I'm like, wow, she's really cool. Wow, she can stand her own ground. Oh my God, she's with Matt Cross and
Speaking of
Angelico.
Lucha
Like,
Underground, did you watch when they did the AAA thing during? Was it?
no, I did
No,
not.
was that Money in the Bank or something?
Yeah, because they
That
had
I had never watched a full in my life, like a full card of luchadors.
Yep.
And that I don't know if you've seen the any footage, the Mr. Iguana guy.
Oh, he's wild.
He won me over so bad. Like I'm waiting for the T-shirt. It could come in the mail.
Yeah.
Like I find it like the different styles.
It is.
Like, you know what I mean? Like not just lucha, but like when I watch between TNA and AEW and everybody, and I'm watching all these everybody's got different styles, and it's wild.
No, absolutely. And that's the cool thing about wrestling is you can be a 300-pound man and still have your own style and hold your own ground. You can be a 120-pound cruiserweight. And it's one of those things. I'm weird. We were actually talking about this last week at training, and we were all like, Chaz Marinelli, he's a mechanic. He does whatever he needs to get done in order for him to win the match. He can do the high flying. He can do the brawler style.
Yeah.
But then there's me, who's like this weird mix of a cruiserweight and a brawler, because I'll punch you in the face, but I might also give you a tilt-a-whirl head scissor.
Yeah.
You talking about me?
Yeah, we're talking about you.
Talking about me?
I never ate my
Talking
banana.
about you, buddy. What's going on? We got the Antihero. Chaz is in the house. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. Not much.
Yeah, I was asking, kind of like, and I'll ask you too, like, what got you into wanting to be a wrestler?
So I've said it before. There's an elaborate story that goes behind this. I wasn't one that watched. Well, I did watch wrestling when I was younger. I watched wrestling back when you had the Attitude Era and you had the Monday Night Wars and.
Oh yeah, I was telling her I missed like 90% of that.
Yeah, man. Dude, I was a Nitro kid. Like that's how I grew up, watching Nitro and then flip on Raw.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to be a wrestler back then, So really, I wanted to be a stuntman, as I've said on a previous interview, like another interview. I wanted to be a stuntman, and it goes hand in hand with the fact that back in the day, I looked like Bam Margera, so I was like, hey, I think I could do the jackass stuff, and then me and my friends were doing that, and then one of them had suggested that we do a backyard wrestling match as a skit, and we did that, and then we didn't stop doing that, and then eventually it led to me wrestling in the ring, and here we are.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was telling her, and I think I said it to you at the show too. I was in a ring once in my life back in 2001, and I was telling her, I said, I give you guys a lot of credit. I had no training. It was at an Insane Clown Posse gathering. You signed a waiver. You and your buddies got 5 minutes in the ring. Do whatever you want. Nobody's training you. We just did what you saw on TV or tried. And it was the longest 5 minutes of my life. And I was telling her, I'm like, I don't know how you guys on a constant, you know what I mean? Like all you guys are, you're always training all the time. You got your show, all your different events and stuff. It takes a lot out of you. Like, it's not like taking a walk down the street. You're beating the hell out of each other. And I find it fascinating. Like I was telling her, I said, I enjoy being the fan and watching you guys kill each other. That's what I like. Well, I was telling her too, with when I first got to see you guys at the Tavern at the Hill, just fine. Like I love independent. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch the WWEs, the TNAs and all that. But I feel the heart and soul of wrestling is in the indie circuit.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Man.
Because think about it. It's kind of like when you look at baseball, right? You ever go watch a Pawtucket Red Sox game back in the day?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
When you go watch those games, those guys were trying harder than the pros because the pros are already in the pros.
Right.
Those guys want it. Same thing with indies. Indies one day want to be on the in the big promotions. Sometimes they don't. But I mean, the goal when people get into wrestling is, hey, let me get to the top. You try. Not everybody does, but I still say indies is where it's at. I feel like because you can be more yourself. When you're doing those big shows, you got to adhere to a certain criteria.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you look how like some of the storylines suck, and this guy's, like a WWE or a TNA or whatever. But the indie ones, I have more fun watching, more entertainment value, more fun. And that's just me. I don't know, but I like what you guys do. And I've only been to one show, and I can't wait for August 30th when you guys got Retribution.
Yeah, man. I mean, I agree with the the idea that, you're going to pick between, WWE, which don't get me wrong, everybody loves going to WWE shows or AEW shows or TNA shows. Like, they're cool as hell.
Yeah.
Because you get to see people that, are local that made it,
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't beat an indie show for the price and for the entertainment value.
Oh yeah, no, you can't. Because like I looked at the tickets for Monday Night Raw when they got announced for Providence.
Yep.
I had bought second row seats the year before in August. They were $500 a ticket. So I said, "Oh, let's see what the tickets are for that $1,000 for the same seat."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "No thanks. I'm happy on my couch.
Yep.
Not to worry about. Oh, excuse me, to get by to go to the bathroom. I just go. Let's.
Oh, you get the best seat in the house, dude.
Yeah.
In your house,
Yeah. But still, I would rather go and support and spend my money at an indie show. Because I want them to keep coming. And if nobody goes, then you can't keep doing the show.
Right.
You're not going to keep losing your ass, over time, but I'm telling you, like anybody that's watching, when I went Saturday, I had the time of that Tavern on the Hill show, time of my life. I didn't know what I was walking into because, like I told her, didn't know who you guys were, didn't know anything. But then I told you guys at the show, I noticed a few of the wrestlers from NEK that wrestle with Casket in them. So I recognize. I'm like, all right, I know some of these guys. I'm like, all right. So it did help make that event for me because I knew some. But then I got to know. Now I get to know you guys and everybody else that's on the roster. And you guys got some talented wrestlers there. Like even your Battle Royal was great. Like just especially the tag. I don't know what the tag name is. We had the black guy and it had the white and the black striped pants.
Oh,
the tag team.
They're talking about Trip and
Nomad Collective.
Yeah, those guys were hilarious. Like
just them. So that was actually their first show with us.
Oh, that's cool.
But they've been wrestling in New York. They come from New York. They're out of Buffalo, and but I've known Trip for a long time as far as like working in the indies because like for a while RICW was on a hiatus for 5 years. Since the pandemic.
Wow.
And so during that time, we weren't sure we wanted to do the whole, wrestle, like bring the Fed back and, because it's a lot of people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes and how much aggravation is. I'm sure you understand because you're in the music business. And
I know. And plus Casket tells me, because one time last year, Casket, he was doing something in a place in a Fall River. They were doing a little show in there. And they had me ringing the bell because they didn't have a bell ringer. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, just when you have to do this, and that's it. I did good. But
so let me ask you a question.
I helped them set stuff up.
How long ago was that?
We were probably there.
It was definitely last summer.
Last summer. So you probably were ringing the bell on a show that I was on because I was the heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. Because I remember after the show, myself, Casket, and a couple guys went to some collectibles place because an AEW guy with the white face paint, I forgot his name. He hasn't wrestled in a while. Say it again?
Darby Allin?
No, the other guy.
Dan Housing.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan House.
So
There's only
whatever
so many
day that
guys with white face
was,
paint.
it was definitely last summer. It was like this little show and then I was ringing the bell, and I remember somebody almost, because it was so close to the ring where the bell was, some dude came into the corner and I thought he was flying at me, and I jumped. I thought I was getting tackled, and then they were busting my chops later. They were like, we got you. You thought he was gonna come out and get you. I'm like, I thought he was gonna crush me. But yeah,
We had to be there.
Yeah, that had to have been one of the. That could have been the show that I faced Dante,
Oh, maybe.
or
because the first match I kind of messed up the bell ringing because I was too into the match.
It
Like,
happens.
it was over and I forgot to go ding ding ding, and then the ref's like, ring the bell. But then after that, I didn't have that mistake. But see, it's such a small world that you were there, and I didn't know you then, but it's the indie wrestling thing. Like I said, I love it. So you know what? Give me the history. Like you said, what Rhode Island Championship Wrestling has been on a hiatus for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started back in June of 2011. And what's funny enough is we started off with Extreme Retribution, which is the show coming up.
Yeah.
And we started it out as just a handful of guys who came from another promotion that weren't happy with the way things were ran. And we just decided that we were going to do our own thing. And so we did. And through much trial and error and making enemies out of friends and friends out of enemies, we were able to constantly evolve and grow past being some quote unquote crappy wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
But we became one of the top promotions in Rhode Island from 2017 to about 2019 to 2020,
really.
pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were bringing in guys, and we were putting guys out onto the indie circuit through our doors. So
that's awesome when you got that kind of system going through where they, you know what I mean? That means you're doing something right.
One of our guys, I won't say who, but one of our guys was actually a security guard on Raw. So
that's cool. Yeah, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
The local stuff, if they need security guards to get the local guys. That's cool when they do that.
One of the kids that came through our doors was that. So I mean, like, but the history, there's tons of stuff you go in depth with, everything around championships, certain people. I started the promotion with a friend of mine, AJ Bailey. He was the real driving force, and like I said, we came from a promotion that we knew we could do better. But the funniest thing is, like, we weren't even supposed to be a wrestling promotion. We were supposed to be a one-time deal. It was supposed to be a reunion show, and and the issue was that the promotion that we were part of, I was very loyal to, and I think he thought that me trying to do a reunion show was like kind of stepping on his feet and whatnot. Because I was trying to get guys from there, from that promotion to come in, and I was working the indies. I was working for New World Wrestling Extreme at the time. I was doing dark matches for Renegade Wrestling Alliance. I was doing all kinds of stuff all over the indies. So I was trying to bring a bunch of people in to do one big show. And I think the promoter thought I was trying to step on his feet and steal his spotlight. So he kind of like phased me out. And what's funny enough is that I was the heavyweight champion for that promotion. He phased me out, had me drop the title, and basically like erased me from their history books.
That stuff happens in the music business, especially, we're in the local underground scene. We're not, big guys, but promoters do that all the time in music too. It's, I think for me, especially from music side, obviously you got the wrestling side of it. For some reason, promoters like to hold their tiny little share to themselves, when if you work together, it benefits you both.
Right.
People are afraid that, no, it's not. It's like, I've been on labels and I just do my own little fake label thing for myself. I'm like, I'm just going to do it myself. I don't want to because I lost friends and stuff over dumb stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we're adults. There's no reason for anybody to be mad if I went and did a show versus the other guy, and then you're doing a wrestling show, and then the other guy. Like, we're adults. Like, I'm always a big believer that whatever industry you're in, collab with people, work together, because you may have more people than the other guy, or you might have just crazy, and it's totally different fan sets, and then you bring them in together, and now you're like, whoa, this is like crazy. Like,
So
I don't get it, but
the thing about professional wrestling, and it's like you're saying, everybody should on paper work together, but it's complete opposite. Everybody, it's greed. It's greed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's ran so bad, like between wrestling promotions and stuff like that. It's like, oh, if you're working this guy's place, then
You can't work
that. You can't work for
So
me. And
silly.
it's crazy. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Same thing. I've had the same thing happen to me, in music. They're like, oh, if you work with him, I can't work with. Like, why?
I
Okay.
can see, like, so there's some promotions that, like, we won't work with, like, because we have our own personal things that have happened within those promotions.
Oh yeah.
Like, and it's not bad blood, it was just bad things that happened. And so but I would never be like, hey, you work for A and B, nah, you can't work for me. I might be like, hey, you work for A and B, this is the situation that happened with me, I wouldn't like for that to happen with you, but if you choose to work there, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I've never understood the you work for Joe, so you can't work for Larry type of business.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can understand, because there's a lot of stuff, like I've been seeing, like underground things. People have, like, Twisted's beefing with this other band, and this band's beefing with Twist. This all broke over the weekend, and everyone, oh, now you can't work with that. And I'm like, go away. To leave me alone.
Falling in Reverse is one of our favorite bands, so we know all about controversial lead singers.
Yeah. We matter of fact, my wife and I went. We 2 years ago, it was either last year or 2 years ago. They played Hershey Park.
Yep.
At their stadium. We drove out there just to go to Hershey Park and go watch Falling in Reverse. They had Ice Nine Kills on that tour.
Yep, I wanted to go so bad. Those are two of my favorite bands. Didn't make it, but we went. What, September of last year?
Oh, did you go to the Ice Nine Kill convention?
Oh my God, I want to go so bad, but he has a booking in North Adams the next day. So I'm like, do we really want to drive all the way to Worcester, to drive back home, to drive all the way back to North Adams? Because North Adams is what, 3 hours from us?
Yeah.
It's up. It's right almost near New York, like near Albany. It's all the way up in Mass, up the Mass Pike.
Yeah. Yep, we made the trek.
Some mansion in North Adams, $1 million, like in 09 or something.
Through the Berkshires, yep.
It's beautiful.
We went up there, and I was like, where the hell are we going?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's way out there. And it's funny too, to be like, something like when you get in the winter, to be like a little warmer, like before you get into the Berkshires, and as soon as you get to the top, it's like a blizzard. And then you get down the mountain, it's fine again. You're like, what is going on up here? It's crazy. It's craziness, man. But yeah, so let's talk about Retribution that you got coming up. So do you have a card set? Are you still working on that?
No, there's a card set. I'll give you an exclusive. I'll let you know what the matches are.
Nice.
Okay, because there's not a lot of people watching right now, so the people that are missing out, they're gonna really kick themselves in the butt,
You heard it here first, kid.
You heard it here first, and I'm gonna give you an exclusive. Yeah. So obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's coming off of No Limits, and
me and Brutus will have our face-to-face at Extreme Retribution.
Nice.
We won't face off until No Limits, though, which is the following. Night of Honor. I'm sorry. No Limits already happened. No Limits is when he won the Rumble. So we'll have our face-to-face. I'm going to be civil.
I don't know. He looks like, I think he wants to come punch you in the nose or something.
Probably, but not if I punch him first. That's the thing, though.
Dude, she hits like a dude. She hits like a straight up dude.
I was telling him how I used to be a very bad person, but I have changed my ways.
Oh, do you guys know? You guys know Kyle James Camara?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle was a student of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah, if he ever comes back.
we perform music together.
He's a good kid.
I'm sorry.
He nah, I love him and his boy. They're very entertaining live. I love watching them. I've matter of fact, they asked me last year, like say like October, November, to do a collab for their album, and I sent it to them like last month. I was totally slack, and I apologize, but they weren't even done. I was like, oh my God. But he said something about me versus Isaac Knox. LMAOJK. I don't know.
Oh, Isaac Knox. That kid's unstable.
Yeah, he's cuckoo.
He's crazy. I don't know if you caught the well, you were there. In the Rumble, I just realized he eliminated himself. Nobody eliminated him.
Yeah.
He eliminated himself. And
I didn't care. It was the one person I had to face.
Then he had something, I don't know if it was a board or if it was it looked like a license plate.
I think it was a license plate.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I remember hearing that tin sound. Ping.
Yeah, he went over to somebody. It was one of the Southern Discomfort guys, and he beat the crap out of him on the ground with the.
Was it Dougie or Bobby? Because if it was Dougie, he probably deserved it.
Oh, I don't know. but he beat that kid is nuts, dude.
He's crazy.
I didn't think he was that crazy, but Return to the Underground, he came out screaming a bunch of obscenities, got in the ring, started punching everybody, and then at No Limits, he eliminates himself, and then he goes and beats up one of the Southern guys with the whatever license plate aboard.
Like I said, if it was Dougie, he probably.
Hey, what's up, Haunt Devin?
Yeah, but speaking of Isaac Knox, he's gonna be facing the guy that you faced Saturday Night Delight, Vinny Abruzzi.
Vinny?
Action Retribution. Yeah. Don't know where that match came from. That's out of left field, but I'm sure there's gonna be more coming up about why that match is happening.
I hope he can dodge a knee.
If he could dodge a wrench, he can dodge and then we got a tag team match. Nomad Collective will be taking on Desirable Des Marciano and Space Trucker Stephen Broad. Stephen Broad, you didn't get the catch at No Limits because he wasn't there, but he's a very entertaining individual.
Yes.
I guess he was abducted by aliens or something something happened.
There was that wormhole back in like 2016, so anything was possible.
We don't talk about the dimensions, but yeah, so he's throwing his name in the hat to be in a tag team with Desirable Des Marciano. Des Marciano is like the equivalent to Johnny Cage.
Oh yeah,
in wrestling form.
Oh, that's cool.
He's really full of himself. He has a lot of acting gigs that tend to fall through. I don't know, but I train the kid, so he's been
working his butt off. He's been there every Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, we were saying he was asking me about my training habits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
they're not good.
Shut up. This is my podcast. Okay.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
You're blocking my belt. Get out of the way.
Nomad Collective, man, they're a scary duo. Like I said, they're from New York. Trip doesn't really say much.
The voices in his head do.
The voices in his head definitely do. His partner.
Let me turn the light on.
His partner is a different story. Cyclone Jones. He oh my God, it's like.
There you go.
Oh. Cyclone Jones. Cyclone Jones is a very soft-spoken man, and it seems like he has Trip, like control of Trip, or he talks sense to Trip. I don't know, man.
I had somebody that I was like with that once, and that didn't end up very well for me.
Yeah, we don't talk about those times.
Why don't we talk about that?
Jack Kruger?
I had to talk a lot about Jack Kruger and therapy and Drac.
So then we got that's a tag match, and I guess the winner of that match is gonna get a #1 contendership spot for the tag titles, which means it could be Nomad Collective versus Southern Discomfort for the tag titles, or it could be Desirable Des Marciano.
Yeah, those Southern Discomfort guys, they're pretty good. I like them. Like I just like how they present themselves, and just like how they were just talking trash and stuff back at them guys.
What? They're funny.
Yeah, they beat me for the titles, man. They didn't even beat us.
I get it, but I mean, they were pretty good. I don't mean no disrespect by it, but they were pretty good.
No, they are. They're very
You
good.
know?
They've been around. They've been
That's all.
around
You're gonna get it back.
for a bit, and they're both of them.
You know what? Are you fighting them again?
Eventually,
I
probably.
don't know, maybe
If there's
one
a
of these
title
days.
line, you want me to like swoop around and trip them up so you can just pin them?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I like
Give me
that.
a chair, or I'll just trip them. Give me a I'll just take their legs out.
They never pinned me. They never pinned me or LDB for those
No,
belts.
they pinned CIA, but they still won. You didn't. What?
Easy there.
What?
We got another match, which is going to be Brazilian Million Johnny Mata, big Jack dude from the Rumble, taking on Yusuf 13.
Guy with the dreadlocks from the Rumble.
Guy with the dreadlocks.
Okay, yep.
The dreads.
That's a house fight.
I feel like that's enough to.
That's
Hey, in the Battle Royal, who was that like really skinny small kid?
Oh, Jaden.
Oh yeah, he's green as goose shit.
Well,
He's brand
we were
new.
laughing because like the dude that came with us, our neighbor that came to the show with us, you know, we like to interact with the wrestlers and talk trash, and you know, we love it when we talk back. And he was telling Jordan that was with us, he's like, he was like, oh, you know, yelling at him, you suck and you can't wrestle. And then the kid's like, why don't you come in here? And he, like, I thought Jordan was gonna hop in the ring and be like, all right, let's go. Like, he really thought like he was getting a real invite in the ring, but he probably would have got his ass kicked, and it would have been really funny.
Yeah.
Do not go in the ring. Don't ever go in the ring. As somebody who's invited many people into the ring and came into the ring, don't get in the ring.
Yeah, don't do that.
Um,
Don't do that.
I've had to stop doing that. I've been told to stop doing that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then apparently Matt Deadwood wants some of me. So
okay.
I'm gonna have to oblige him, which I'll have to tell him that I'm going to oblige him.
You can tell him right now.
But yeah, so if Matt Deadwood's watching this, Matthew, I'm not happy about you stomping a mask that resembles my own, or the symbolism behind it. So if you're watching this, you're on, brother.
Oh, here we go. There's fighting words. You have any fighting words for this man?
I never put my nose.
Dude, I'm just gonna kick his face off. That's
All
all.
right, there you go. There you go. I'm down with that. Just beat him.
Drop him on his mountain man head.
Just kill him.
Don't release anything else.
Don't release anything
More
else.
secret.
That's it. You just
Doesn't
want to stop.
make them want to come.
All right. She's right. I can't release anymore. I'm just gonna. You got that. You got. I'll give you a couple of those. There you go.
Goodness.
There you go.
So-
Hey, I appreciate any of them. You didn't have to give me any, but you did, and that's pretty cool.
But yeah, man. I mean, Extreme Retribution. There's a lot of story going into it, and it's literally the anniversary of RICW. Like I said, you know, we were doing phenomenal up until the pandemic, and then once the pandemic hit, it was like everything stopped. Obviously, the world stopped.
Oh yeah.
Professional wrestling stopped, and then right from there, you know, we had to rebuild. We weren't sure if we were going to rebuild. A lot of promotions around us started to rebuild, and a lot of talents that came through our doors started going elsewhere. So we weren't really sure if there was any worth in doing it. And then, like everything else, man, you get the itch, and you need to scratch that itch. And we decided that we were just gonna get back into it and do what we do best, and that is put out some of the best wrestling there is in the area. And we're doing it,
and I can vouch for that just by going to one show.
and we're doing it in places where there isn't much wrestling. So the hills.
There's none up this way. There's none. We know that. There's nothing up this way.
No. Yeah, I'm from the same town.
Yeah, we live in the same town in Burwell. But yeah, the one thing that I've always said about Rhode Island, there's not much to do in it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I got a side-by-side and I can't drive that thing anywhere in this town.
You know, off subject, but on subject, you know, back in the day I had 4-wheelers, and you know, back then it was fine. You could ride the power lines, you could ride all these paths and stuff and not have a problem.
Yep.
Now it's like if you're caught by DEM or something, your bike gets impounded, it gets crushed. Like,
oh yeah, I know somebody. Was it
extreme.
It was like a couple years ago. The lines up further up. What is that? Damn, near the asylum that's up in Pasco.
Yeah, Zambrano.
Yeah, you know the power lines up there.
Yep.
It was in the news and everything. I know the dude who got caught.
Oh, I know the dude who got caught too.
I went side by side and with him up in New Hampshire.
He says I won't mention his name.
And yeah, you see, it's such a small state. Everybody knows everybody. It's so fun. But my point being, I'm saying Rhode Island sucks. There's nothing going on. Like if you like the grand scheme, like me personally, I would love to live in another state that had more things to do.
Right, and I think like, if you here's the thing, like I think people are more prone to do things that they're not supposed to do because you ban it. So like people are more prone to go out and ride their four-wheelers illegally on the power lines and stuff because there's nowhere else to ride them. But if the town were to turn around and be like, hey, we got some vacant property that's owned by the town, how about we just make a public riding area?
Yeah, that's what they should do. But
give somebody something to do.
Yeah, I mean that's like I was saying, when there's nothing to do, you guys providing some good entertainment because I mean, what do we have? Indoor go-karts, disgusting beaches, and we got Top Golf.
All right, we got Top Golf.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all think about it, for an entire state. There's not much.
No.
So that's why I'm glad that I truly am glad that even though I never knew you before that show, that you guys did it, because we found you guys, and now we found something to do. So now we have something to look forward to. So you're going to see this ugly mug, my wife's face, and that dude Jordan at every show now, because we got, like I said, we got nothing. We got nothing going on, and I like to go. I was telling her before you came on, we watch wrestling with different promotions and stuff almost every night. You know what I mean? We SmackDown. I'll go on Amazon and watch TNA. My wife is starting to really get into AEW. I'm having a hard time getting into it. I don't know why. I think it's because I don't know anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when I came back to watching WWE, I didn't really know who anybody was.
Right.
And it took me a hot minute to be like, oh, all right, I really do like it. So, but like seeing something local, I don't.
Oh.
That's what I like. I like that because I'm so ingrained with that whole, like, the underground music. The Indies is like the underground music. That's like where, you know what I mean?
100%.
And my cousin is a big wrestling fan, and I didn't even realize it until we were talking over the 4th of July. And he's like, "Oh, we went to the double feature that they had, like it was a double showing of Raw or whatever." And he's like, "We were right at the barricade, and we saw everybody fighting in front of us. Tiff, it was so cool." And I'm like, I do this on the weekends, right? Like like an indie show is all of it. There's no bad seat at an indie show. You're not going to be in the nosebleeds. You're behind a guardrail.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, for you to come and you spend $20 or you spend $30, whatever the case may be. Most of the time when you're spending the upwards of 30, you get a free t-shirt or you get a signed poster. There's always something to go with it, compared to the nosebleeds are at least $100 now.
But you also get treated as part of the show. Like, you get involved as a fan, and that's the whole thing. Like, we want to make the fans feel as much as a part of the show as the wrestlers are, because when you have that inclusivity,
That's a big word for Elmo.
That's a big word for Elmo. When you have that aspect, it just feels much better. Like, so like you said that, homeboy was arguing with your neighbor or you guys and stuff. Like, it makes the show much better than watching a couple of guys who are getting paid stupid amounts of money to pretty much ignore you, but slap your hand on the way in, and then
I mean, look
at the check.
During the Rumble, I was sitting right on the side of them on the deck.
Yeah.
I was talking.
Yeah, see, my wife is in the chat. She goes, "Hi guys, can't wait to see you in August. Goat Man forever. Hope you are both doing well. Glad to see you already on the show."
They were calling. What were you calling them? A lamb?
A sheep at first.
A sheep. I was like,
no, it's a goat. You told us it was a goat. Sheep, goat, kind of the same, different, but kind of.
We're bummed because Flex. I don't think Flex is gonna be there. Extra Retribution, unfortunately.
But he's one of the main guys. I faced him. We don't talk about it, but I faced him way back in like 2016,
Yeah,
2017.
way back.
I wasn't very good. It was like my second year in.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm called the Vixen, this is going way back. This is RICW history here. The reason why I'm called the Vixen is because we used to have a Vixens division. It was our female division, but there wasn't enough females for us to make it an actual division. So I am the only ever Vixens champion. So that's why I call myself the Vixen, because I am the Vixen of
cross
RICW.
dress and then she can beat me up in the ring. I don't know.
So funny enough, I issued an open challenge and I was like, I don't care who comes out here, I'll fight anybody for my title, blah 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 blah. Shut up, Dozer. And Flax was the one that accepted my open challenge. I'm like, is this animal abuse? Can I do this?
Well, he technically identifies as a female goat, so
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, there you go.
So that's
Yeah.
me and Flax go back, but we've been dealing with Flax for years.
yeah, Flax is a awesome talent. Like
Yeah.
he comes out and he's always got people like he's got the lays.
Yep.
And he's always got people like cheering him on like crazy. Like if there's ever somebody that is identified as uber babyface, it's Flax.
He's a dude in a goat mask that comes out with pom poms.
Oh, yeah.
To his own like individual. He used to come out to Peacock by Katy Perry.
The song, his song now is like
That's just somebody going, let's.
It's not good.
Get Flex. It's not supposed
it's not
to be.
good, but it's good. It's not good, but
That's
it's good.
funny. But it was funny because I remember when he was in the Battle Royal,
Yeah.
and then he would come, and then because we were cheering on Goatman, and then he'd run and then jump in the corner, and he goes, "This is for you," and then he'd point at me. Then he'd go, "This one's for you," and he'd point at me, and and I'm like, "Yeah," and he just get it. But again, as you're talking about bringing the people in, that's how you suck people in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody's going to talk trash back and forth, and I feel, yeah. See, my wife's going, I was screaming when she came out, like, you know what I mean? Like, it reminded me too, because I was telling her that AAA when they had it was during Money in the Bank or whatever, when they had the luchador thing, and they had the Mr. Iguana guy that won everybody over. So to me, Goatman is like Mr. Iguana. Like, you know what I mean? He's got that because he's got the mask and he's
gimmicks work, man.
Yeah,
gimmicks
and
work.
That's what it is.
Because he's hokey,
Gimmicks
but he's
work.
not over the top hokey.
And that's the thing about us is that we have something for everybody. We got the gimmick, we got the over the top gimmicks, we got the more serious, characters and stuff like that. Like we have monsters, we have not so much monsters.
What about
Yeah. No, you got something for everybody. When people come to your shows, there's something for everybody.
That's the thing. Like we like we were discussing when we were first talking before Chaz got here. There's a mix of everybody. We got the big dudes, we got the little dudes, we got the singular chick, me. But we have like you come and you might be watching somebody like Little Daddy Bravo, who's under 300 pounds, and he's a big dude, and that's your tag team partner I'm talking about here.
That's partner.
You see him tossing people around, giving them lawn darts, the whole nine, beating the crap out of them, and then you might see a cruiserweight match next, like the Warzone title, which was our opener match. I don't think you were there yet, but we had Hot Shot Deshaun versus the Sniper.
Gotta say with the
I might have came in near the end of the match. I think maybe.
Sniper.
I know how to say it.
Sean
Hunter.
Yeah.
And they had a great match. And the Warzone is similar to like our that's our cruiserweight division, where it's gonna be smaller guys. They're gonna not mostly be, but they're gonna be high flyers. They're gonna be that showy, type of match. And the Warzone division, the rules are a little different with that division. So when you're defending the Warzone title, you can falls count anywhere, right? I'm not wrong about that.
Yeah, man, the Warzone division is something special because it's falls count anywhere. Weapons are legal. You could do whatever. It's almost like the open sandbox title. You can pretty much do whatever with the championship that
Kind
As
of
long
like,
as
so you would consider that maybe like a hardcore title or something like that.
Similar,
so,
yes.
so
Yeah.
the way that I would say it is like it's a combination of a cruiserweight, the hardcore, and the X Division title all rolled into one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So and you know that title, I don't really even look at that title as a mid card title. I look at that title just as important as the Universal
I look
Heavyweight
at all of
Championship.
our titles. So like all of our titles have a reason behind them. So like tag titles, obviously tag titles. Warzone, like we just explained, has its own little category. The Inner City, which is our technical mid card title, I don't consider it a mid card title because you have a clause. If you have the Inner City, you can cash that in for a chance at the Universal Championship.
Oh yeah. So
And so it has
yeah,
its
you can't
own.
count that as like a mid card. This is a significant reward at the end of that rainbow.
Right. So what was that? 2017 when you faced Nick Marchand first, and then Dozer came and
Yeah,
cashed in
man.
his
Yeah,
City.
yeah. Dozer, come on. No, you're in the chat, dude. I remember that. That's messed up.
So there was two matches and two matches in one shot, really, because just like a Money in the Bank, very similar. Dozer came out, said, "I want to cash in my title." There he was, cashed in his title, bumped the buckle.
Bumped the buckle, didn't win. I came out victorious, but then he did it a second time, and then he ended up beating LDB and had a long ass reign as Universal Champion.
But like for example, so with the Inner City, me, Dozer, and Jack Kruger, who I was talking about earlier, we were part of a faction called Salvation, and Dozer was Universal Champion. I had the Inner City. And as long as I had that Inner City, I was an insurance policy that nobody could get an extra shot at Dozer.
Ah.
And then Jack Kruger turned on me and beat me.
Chris said he was screwed.
But see, the Inner City title is the only title that I haven't actually won, and I wouldn't treat it as that. I think I would, if I were to hold that title again, like, you know, if I were to hold that title,
right,
I think I would use it as just a normal championship. I don't think I would use that.
Right, but it always has that extra ability.
Right, you always
to
got
be
that
used. Right.
opportunity.
It's good for storylines because you can always get in the head of the guy who's got the belt all the time. You could just be, he could be in a match and just be like, coming with your title, and then maybe not.
Right.
Well, that was the whole thing. So me and Jack Kruger were in a what was it, a 5-way scramble or a 4-way scramble?
Yeah, you guys were in something.
I think it was a 5-way. We were in a scramble, some type of scramble where the last person pinned was the champion. There was about 20 seconds left on the clock. I'll never forget this. I talked about this a lot in therapy. So there was about 20 seconds left on the clock. Me and Kruger, I gave him a big hug. I said, "We did it. We won. Hell yeah. Keep that insurance policy. High five." I turned my back, he kicks me in the gut, double arm DDT, turns on me, takes my belt.
Oh, what a meanie pants.
Oh my God. I was so mad. So mad at that. And then we had our falling out. Actually on YouTube is our the last match that I did pre No Limits.
Pre-COVID.
Which was a hardcore match between me and Jack Kruger. And I won, of course. Jack Kruger, a couple shows before that, had taken Dozer out because me and Dozer were still Salvation at that point. And he had double arm DDT Dozer onto the concrete. So he went to do the same for me, and Dozer came out and saved the day. He's always saving my ass.
Well, hey, I guess he's just a good partner to have.
He is. He's a great friend to have. But we had a 1.5-year storyline building up to that. We had a 5-on-5 War Games match with another faction.
If you can sit there.
If you have 70 minutes to kill.
It's up on YouTube. I'll send you the link, but it's up on our YouTube, and it's
definitely said it because we're always, like I said, we watch wrestling all the time.
It's a long match, and what's funny enough is that we competed with 3 other promotions all in the same night. So our house was like low.
Yeah, we
didn't have a lot of fans.
10 people.
And but like it was so much buildup that it had to end that night. And there were people who were at other shows, live streaming the match, and they were kicking themselves in the ass that they weren't there for it. But it's a 5-on-5 faction wars match where it's weapons and blood and
I bleed
it's
like a
right up
stuffed
my
pig.
alley.
I
It's right up
bleed
my
like
alley.
a stuffed pig. Just so you're not confused, me and Chaz had a pretty big falling out for a couple of years. I tried to kill
falling out,
him.
right? Yep.
I cheated on him.
Yep.
Tried to kill him.
Yep.
More than
Nice.
once.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, get this. She screws me out of the tag team titles, right? But they cheer her. How does that work? Huh? How does that work?
We were talking about how since I'm a female, I'm on.
Oh, yeah, automatically the face, yeah.
But so
That's
what I was saying,
Chris is
how
saying
I
you guys
used,
had a violence orgy.
when I say that I used to not be a good person, I was not a good person. But I've worked through a lot of things in therapy, and he.
But here's
has
the thing: you're a
forgiven
good
me,
person
so-
now, and that's what matters,
Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
what was like I remember, you know how CM Punk came back, and you hear the interviews, and Triple H says, "Well, if you're the same guy you were 10 years ago, what are you doing with your life?"
Right.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So I guess as people, as us as humans, we're humans. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna fuck up. We're gonna do all kinds. You know what I mean? We're gonna do all kinds of things, and it's up on us to turn it around. Obviously, she did. So I applaud you for that. Not many people are willing to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my wife said if the Vixen ever needs a manager, I'm your girl. LOL. I could be the alluring Jessie, your cheerleader, like Mariah May to Tony Storm. LOL. Then you can throw Josh through a table.
Oh, I'd love to throw Josh.
Oh, man. All right, putting you through your bumps.
Which would be funny because the first person that ever put me through a table was Bravo.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
funny
I've been saying this forever. Like I told you, I had that 5 minutes in the wrestling ring, and that's about my wrestling career right there. But I've always said I want to be a manager, and at some point in the storyline, get put through a table. I've been saying that for years. That's what I've always wanted to do.
Back in once again, 2017, this was right after I had cheated on Chaz and turned on him, and because him and Bravo were still the Anarchist Empire at that point, which was the first faction I was ever in. That was like the heart of RICW at that time. And I was managing Hunter Kane, who was the big guy that Chaz faced the last show.
Yeah.
We were, it was a civil war. So I took Hunter. Hunter was my guy. He had Bravo and whoever else was left in the Empire at that point. Johnny, I think.
No, Johnny was gone. Cass.
Oh, Johnny's always gone. So we had done that. So I still had Hunter on my side, which is who I had tried to kill, Kevin, Chaz, sorry. And then what?
Using my government name.
Sorry. So Hunter was facing LDB, and I'd come out, of course, and I hit him in the balls, gave him the ye old right through the legs.
Yep.
And I put him into, at the time, my submission finish was what is the Undergate, the Hell's Gates?
The Hell's Gates.
Hell's
Gates of
Gates.
Chaos.
So I called them the Gates of Chaos. So I had them all wrapped up.
Trying.
I had them in it, and Bravo stood up with me still wrapped in. Hunter, not paying attention, hit Bravo from behind right through the table.
Oh boy.
My mom still hasn't forgiven LDB for putting me through a table.
I had a big smile on my face when she went through the table.
But so that's funny because that was exactly what I did, and everybody cheered. That was the one time that
fun, though.
It was fun. It was so much fun. It's so much
Yeah, because one of the podcasts we did, I don't know, a couple months ago, somebody on there decided to bring out a folding table. I mean, a chair, and we just started beating the shit out of each other live with a chair, just smacking her in the back. Bam! People loved it. So I think it has to be brought back again. Like not all the time, but
right.
I mean, even my wife let me hit a full force with a chair. I mean, I didn't full force. So, I did the, made it look like it was real.
Right.
You could hear the bang, but it, yeah. I even said, she gave me permission to beat her ass, but she got to hit me, so we all had fun. So
that's how it is, man. Sometimes you got to beat the shit out of your significant other.
Yeah, I mean, as long as nobody's going to hospital and getting bruised, bleeding,
consent.
I guess it's okay, right?
Yeah. You gotta fix this. What is this?
Actually, I hear if you use a phone book, it doesn't leave a mark.
Ooh.
That's what they
next
said back in the 90s.
time. Next time. Next time.
Oh, that's what a cop told us before. If they said if you're gonna beat your kid, because somebody we're with slapped their
That's what
kid
the
out in
cop
public, and the
told
cop
us.
said if you're gonna do it, hit him with a phone book so it doesn't leave a mark. Cops are crazy. Cops will tell you anything. One cop told me one time, he goes, "You want to know how the best way to get rid of a body?" I said, "What's the best way to get rid of it?" This was a state trooper. He goes, "Freeze the body, go rent a wood chipper with cash."
Yep.
He goes, "Take it out in the woods," and he goes,
Yep.
"Run the body through it."
What do you mean? Yep.
Yep.
What
I already knew that.
What do you mean?
I already knew that. And dogs can't smell. If you dig a hole 12 feet deep, dogs can't smell that far.
I
So
gotta save a cat. I'll be right
Wait,
back.
Kyle, you said that you tried going through a table on Sunday. Alex choke slammed you off the stage and nailed. What did you go through the table, or did the table not break? That's a question we need to know. Inquiring minds need to know.
yeah, Kyle. What are you doing, Kyle? What do you mean you
Yeah.
taking choke slams off of stages? You crazy man.
I mean, it looked like they had a fun time at Nails Fest. I seen some video, seen some of the. I seen a couple wrestlers that were at that show at Hills of Tavern wrestling up there, and it looked like a fun time.
Yeah, man. I mean, I saw Bruce Sane. He did something. I think he did a death match or something with Hack Robinson, and I think he did a side effect off the stage through a table or something. I don't know. It was wild.
Yeah, there was just a bunch of people in the Battle Royal that not even wrestled, which I thought was cool. I got invited up, but I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
You say hi, Skit.
I had a booking. I
Hi,
had a booking.
kitty.
I had to go and beat up a geriatric and try and win his belt, but that didn't work out.
Stay away from Carnage.
Yeah.
Carnage. Why? What did he do to you?
Carnage is one of the Carnage is one of the other cats.
Oh, I thought it was a wrestler and he was just killing
No.
everybody.
No.
Our cats are named after symbiotes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
5 of the symbiotes.
Yeah.
We don't have all of them anymore. We just have Mayhem, Karn, and Chaos.
No, Chaos isn't a symbiote.
Yeah, but Chaos was supposed to be Carnage until he broke our TV.
No, he was supposed to be Venom. Then he broke my TV, and I said,
Yeah.
that motherfucker. Oh.
We
said he
swear
owes
all
me
the time
money.
here,
That
that's
cat owes
okay.
me money.
But yeah, so you got him like named after like Venom or Triangle. Yeah.
We also had Scream and Riot. Scream went to one of my really good friends, and Riot went to one of the ladies that was a regular at my old job.
Yep.
They're both doing well. Scream was his kitty. I'm surprised he actually let her go.
Hey, it is what it is.
Let me ask you, outside of wrestling, do you guys like go to haunted houses, theme parks, anything like that? Or
I'm not allowed in haunted houses because I throw fists.
Kevin doesn't like being, Chaz doesn't like being scared.
Yeah.
oh, so then you wouldn't like going
I'm
to
sorry. I'm used to using your government.
you wouldn't like going to 13th World if you paid the extra $5 for the necklace.
Oh, dude, I would be fine. I'd just be throwing fists.
Yeah, which is why we can't go. I want to go to haunted houses every single year, and I can't because of him and his short fuse.
Well, how about this? If you don't want to take him, I can because I used to work for 13th World, and we do this thing every year where they allow me to film, and but we're trying to change it this year.
Yeah.
So what had happened was and you can find it on this YouTube channel. If you find it, they let us film the entire thing where they would just dump shit on us.
Right.
Like mayonnaise, and they'd make their own concoctions, and they would
that.
throw. But it only happened to me. It was nobody else.
Right.
Whoever went through with me. Like you would have to rip your clothes off. I had to drive home in my underwear and socks, and I was hungry, and I stopped at a Wendy's. I'm covered in blood and crap, and I'm starving. And the guy said he almost called the cops on me because I was covered in blood, almost naked in the car. I was like, I had to explain to him, like, I got the video right here. Do you want to watch? I'm like, I just got tortured.
13th World is what? Uxbridge. Right?
Covered in blood and mayonnaise and
Uxbridge?
Uxbridge.
Is that 13th World? Or is it?
That's
No.
Diamond Hill Park. And
Yeah.
Cumberland.
Yeah.
I knew it was local.
That's the one that they got the bus at the Autumn Festival.
Yes. Okay.
Yep. And then they have one in Palma over by Sturbridge Village.
Yeah.
Another one that they opened up a few years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, If you ever want to go to a haunted house and he doesn't, let me know. I'll take it. I'll take you to good ones that you'll enjoy. You just tell me what you don't like and you like, and I'll make sure that you have the best time you ever had in a haunted house.
Oh yeah, we went to, well, not we, but me and a couple of my friends years ago, before we were even a thing, before I knew he existed. We went to Spooky World.
Yep.
And I had a really good time. And like, I don't like feeling closed in. So like the claustrophobic ones aren't great.
Oh,
and
like
they
that
had,
thing we call it the birth canal. When you go through
yes,
that inflatable
yep.
thing. Yeah, my wife.
I went through one of those and I'm like, yeah. Like holding on for dear life. But like I like being scared in a way that it's still fun. Like,
yeah,
I'm a big horror movie fanatic. Wrong leg. I have Sam from Trick or Treat mixed
that's
with
a
Oogie
great
Boogie
movie. You know they're
tattoo.
working on number 2.
Oh my god, that Trick or
Finally.
Treat is hands down my favorite horror movie besides for Sinister. Trick or Treat and Sinister, right at the top level. The OG Sinister, not the second one. The second one sucked. So
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you ever hear of Halloween Horror Nights at Universal?
yep.
I think it's tomorrow or Friday or next week. They're announcing a WWE house.
Really?
It's supposed to be
Yeah, the
themed
Wyatt.
after the Wyatt Six and the Undertaker.
That'll be cool.
That I did hear about.
And then Terrify is supposed to be coming.
Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's about
But I just don't
Terrifier
want
right
them
now.
to PG-13 like they've been doing everything else. That should not be a PG-13 haunt.
There's no way to make it a PG-13.
No, you can't. It's not. Just don't even build it.
Right.
One of my friends that works for Universal, he's like, I think they're going to PG-13 it. I'm like, if you do that, people are going to stop going to the thing. I said, you have to do it right or don't do it at all.
Right.
I don't know how you would do that.
You can't. Not with art.
No.
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 Well, it's because Universal, when they started bringing Stranger Things in for houses, because you could handle Halloween Horror Nights all day, Chaz.
Right.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I've been.
Like that. I consider those haunted houses like for 5-year-olds. They're not scary at all.
Yeah.
And but yeah,
Years ago.
oh, they did a Weekend house. They did, that guy, the singer, The Weekend.
Yep.
Yep.
They took part of his Super Bowl performance and put it in the house, and it was awful. The best part is when they killed him in it. It was great.
But we don't do too much of that stuff. We go to the movies. We prefer watching movies now at home because you can get it like a week after.
There's only certain movies myself that I want to watch in a theater. Like a Star Wars movie or some Marvel movie, something like that.
What's the last thing we went to go see? Oh, we went to go see Beetlejuice too.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
Yeah, we went to the theater and seen that. That was great.
That's
I'm a big driving guy, so I like going to driving.
Plus the drive-in's right next to us too. So we just went to go see.
We got Mendon, the one in Mendon, and we got the one on 146.
Rustic.
Yeah, Rustic.
We just went to go see with the kids. We saw Elio and Lilo and Stitch. That was really cute.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, we wanted to see it, but we never got to yet in the theater. So was it good though, Stitch?
Yeah, no, it was good. That's the nice thing about the drive-in. You pay $33 for a carload. You can bring in your own food as long as you're not an asshole about it. Yep. And then you just $33 for 2 movies. Half the time they'll do like a kids movie and then an adult movie. Yep. So like it was what was the other one that we went to go see with the kids? Minions? Despicable Me 4? No, that was that with Inside Out. Minecraft movie.
Minecraft. That's
I seen that. We watched it on Max the other day.
And then
I actually enjoyed that. I'm not a Minecraft game guy, but I found the movie like cheesy, funny, and that's up my alley.
Yep. Nope. Same with us. We enjoyed it.
I laughed.
The kids enjoyed it.
Jason Momoa is hilarious.
Oh, I know, because he's supposed to be this big badass. He keeps getting his ass kicked the whole movie.
my kids now go around the house. Our 10-year-old has always done the guess what? Chicken butt. And he's done that for years now. But now he goes, guess what? And you go, what? And he goes, chicken jockey. And then our 3-year-old will hear it and he's like, chicken jockey. I'm like,
hey, at least you're not bringing a live chicken in your house and throwing it around like they did in the theaters.
I am. No, I'm pretty sure if our youngest could, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a terror. He's a terror.
That's awesome, though.
That's why he can't come to shows. He's a terror.
Mm-hmm. We brought him to the first RICW show because my dad. So my mom passed in 2020, and her and my dad used to come to all the shows with my nephew. And like that was their thing. They'd sit in the back and they'd cheer me on. The first show they ever went to, I got knocked out for real. My first time ever getting knocked out. Like, so my dad came because of course he wanted to see it. He's coming back. He's excited. And I'm like, I'm just ring announcing, so shouldn't be too much craziness. But my son was sitting with my dad, and every time he saw me, he would start bawling his eyes out and screaming. So we're like, yeah, that can't happen again.
Yeah,
You
well,
gotta edit
yeah,
JJ
it's
out.
different. It's kids are weird when it comes to things. You
Oh,
never
yeah.
know. Like we thought, like my granddaughter, we thought she was gonna enjoy fireworks. She's 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has the little, like the red firecrackers that are loud. He screams.
Yep.
Just opening the door. We had a little party on Sunday. Just opening the door to the house, flipped out. Just
Yep.
for whatever reason, her and the fireworks right now, just on a thing.
Yep.
Freaked out. I was like, no.
For the longest time, we couldn't bring him to training with us because it was loud for him, and he would just be so scared the entire time. And I'm like, dude, you're okay. Like these are friends. You're okay. And like now he's fine. He'll get
Now he beats up the guys.
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah,
There's a video of it somewhere.
I have a video of him beating up Hunter Kane.
Put a chair around his neck and everything.
I saw it. I know.
That's crazy.
He got to me.
Crazy.
Wow.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, anything else you guys want? Anybody to, lay it all out? Floor's yours. Promote.
YouTube, RICW tapings. Look us up. There's tons and tons and years worth of stuff. I will say that the older the years are, like the older stuff isn't all that great.
Mm-mm.
But it is what it is. So there's YouTube / RICW tapings. There's also TCW Official, which is our sister company.
I
Those
ring
guys
for them.
She ring announces. I wrestle. If anybody's looking to catch us, we will be at Cosplay Championship Wrestling at Connecticut in Hartford, Connecticut.
July 18th through the 20th.
There you go.
Oh, so I'm at Lethal Weekend.
We will also be at TIW, Truly Independent Wrestling, up in North Adams on August 2nd.
August 23rd, I think, is.
August 23rd is TCW.
Yep, that's Wrestle Bash.
Wrestle Bash. And then August 30th is RICW Extreme Retribution, which is a show that you do not want to miss. Because
I'll definitely be at Retribution. And if you could, send me info about the one that's before that. TC something you just said?
TCW?
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
Send me some of that for that bash.
That's Wrestle Bash. It'll be in Providence.
It's not Wrestle Bash.
No, that's not Wrestle Bash.
It's not Wrestle Bash.
Uh,
It's TCW. It's
Wrestle something.
WrestleFest.
I'm sorry, Wrestle Fest. My bad. Wrong.
So they have bands and stuff play.
So it's like a wrestling match, and then a band will play, and then another
that's cool.
wrestling match. It's a good time. We've done this is what our third year doing it, second year doing it,
Third year.
third year.
Yep.
I'll be there ring announcing. I know everybody wants to see me, not him. It's fine.
Yeah, but definitely send me the info because I'd like to check that out for sure.
Yeah, no,
100%.
it's TCW is a good time. They're all young kids coming up.
There are a bunch of guys that you see in RSW.
Yeah, the Hot Shot Deshaun is their main champion right now. So it's cool. It's a good time. Yeah, cosplay is really the next time.
Cosplay is the next time, yeah. And then so she'll be April O'Neil. I'll be Casey Jones.
Oh, shit.
You've done
Tease me,
TC
bitch,
Jones the last 3 years?
3-4 years, yeah.
I was pregnant our first Connecticut ever. Playing DDR like 6 months pregnant.
And then our socials, we got RSW on Facebook. X we don't really use. Instagram, we're starting to get back into the grind of things.
You have your Instagram. I use mine for normal things.
And then there's the RSW one.
Yeah, RSW.
But yeah, I mean that's mainly
Like us on Facebook, RICW on Facebook, Jacklyn Sparks, Jacklyn Sparks is my Facebook page. He has his Chaz Marinelli Facebook page.
the Antihero, Chaz Marinelli. Also, I got Pro Wrestling Tees if you want some merch. It's prowrestlingtees.com/Chaz Marinelli or /Antihero.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Make sure you get some merch.
Yeah, get some merch. Buy some shirts.
Yeah,
Does
I
it
mean,
have
I
my
do the
face
same thing
on
with
it?
me with my giggle shit, like trying to get people to buy the merch. Some people they do, sometimes they do, sometimes don't. I'm like, no, buy it. It's good stuff. Buy.
Get
Good
it.
stuff, cheap. I feel like I'm,
Quality.
What is that? Remember that store? Good Stuff Cheap. What the hell was it? It no longer.
That was Building 19.
Yes,
I love Building 19.
And it's Ollie's now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went from Building 19 to Ollie's.
The first time I walked into an Ollie's, I'm like, I've been here before.
Yeah, it's just Building 19 with a new name. Even the artwork is the same.
Yep.
With the cartoon drawings and everything.
Yep. They opened one up next to us, and we went like the opening day. No, I know, but I don't want the whole world to know where I live, bro. And
the first one I ever went to was out in Detroit. I went to ICP's Big Ballers event. They were doing at their record label office.
Yeah.
So I took my son to that, and we had to go grab some stuff before we went there. There was an Ollie's. I'm like, they got a Building 19 out here?
I'm walking through, and I'm like, this is Building 19. I was having flashbacks.
No, I know the old days. But hey, thank you guys again. We'll definitely do it again. If you have guys ever want to just come on, shoot the shit, whatever, promote whatever you got coming on, you guys and any of the other wrestlers, if they want to come on, they're all more than welcome. And I can't wait to see you guys just killing everybody.
Awesome, Doc.
Yeah. We'll see you August 30th for sure.
I will be there.
All right, brother.
Hey, thank you again. Bye, everybody. Keep on just get them scalpels up and make sure you check them out on all their wrestling things. Follow them on social media. And again, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Till next time, everybody. Peace out.